Spanish Grand Prix has been a permanent fixture on the Formula One calendar for over 30 years now, and for good reason. Do you remember Michael Schumacher's absolute dominance here in that rain-soaked Grand Prix in 1996? That day he took his first ever victory for Ferrari, and we've had many more iconic moments since. The Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya then, a high-speed 2.89-mile circuit which demands an efficient downforce package and bravery on the part of the driver, especially through the blind right of turn 9, which we might just see taken flat this weekend. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1, so how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are three main things to worry about there, Crofty: positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Norris, the owner driver, and Ricciardo, Leclerc, Sainz, Perez, and Sebastian Vettel, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, and Tsunoda, Matsushita, Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen, and Mick Schumacher, Ocon, Russell, Latifi, and Nikita Mazepin. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Okay, gap ahead is 4.7 seconds. Gap to teammate behind is 4.8 seconds. This is your final lap of the race. That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
They've done it then. A spectacular victory here in Spain and a massive confidence boost going into the next race. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection, a shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. Now, let's discuss, Ants. Who would you say is a contender for Driver of the Day?
Well, you've put me in a bit of a tight spot today, but I think I'll go for Pierre Gasly. He kept a cool head under pressure and made the most of some difficult circumstances.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
今日はすごかったですね。では質問させてください。マシンを完璧にコントロールしていたようですね。チームスタッフもドキドキしたことでしょうね。
チームメイトは今週末苦戦していたようね。チームの懸念材料になるかしら。
ありがとうございました。